Welcome to our cardio workshop. This is one of the workshops we do every year, something we're really excited about. This is something that's going to hopefully educate you, get you moving in the right direction, help you understand what heart health is, how to keep your heart healthy. If you're somebody that already it feels like you are pretty healthy, if you're somebody who feels like you have heart issues, how can you reverse this process and get your heart working to the best of its ability? That's really what the goal is today. Our purpose here, I'm going to switch the screen so you should see more of the slideshow. Awesome. That's me and the family over here on the left. But our purpose is really to be the standard for natural healthcare, where everyone is empowered to live to their full potential. And the key is to be empowered. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You've got to be empowered. You've got to be ready to take control of your health and make changes here. So this is what the point of today is. You can make changes. You can do something different. If you see, we've got Colette is the 9-year-old, Cami is the 11-year-old, Chloe is the 13-year-old, and then we got the baby on top, Charlotte. I know that we really try to make really healthy choices in our family, but we don't always. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but we do our best. And we want to give you guys those steps today, how to do your best. I'm not telling you you're going to have to change 10,000 things. I'm not trying to overwhelm you. I'm going to empower you to help you do your best. And then if you have questions for us, ask the questions. If you want to do better, let's help you get there. If there's something you need to change, let us help support you in changing that. So today for our workshop, we're going to do 2 sessions. It is a lot of information. This was like 100 slides I put together initially. We've got it down to 40 total. So we're going to do about 20 today and 20 on Friday. If this is information people need to know, please share it. Please let your family, your friends know. This could be life-saving information. A lot of this may go directly against things you've already heard in the past. We're going to be talking about cholesterol, blood pressure, atherosclerosis, which is the plaque in the arteries, the hardening of the arteries. It may go directly against things you've heard. But it's the truth. It's peer-reviewed. It's researched. This is out there. This information is out there. It's not just thoughts or good ideas. It's literally the facts on how your body works, and it can save your life. So please don't be afraid to share. So I'm going to try to keep this 40 minutes today. And then if you have questions, if you're taking notes, go back and rewatch it. Ask questions. You can do that on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll come back. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. If I can't get to them while I'm talking, I don't know if I can type and do this at the same time, I'll do it right afterwards. Or if I see your question, I'll try to answer it here on the video. Okay. I think this is pretty cool. This is the map of all of our Max Living chiropractic offices in the United States and Canada. So this whole week, all of our offices are doing cardio workshops. So thousands of people are getting the same information about how to make a change in their health, how to do something different. If you don't know, heart disease is the #1 killer right now. Heart disease is #1, cancer is #2. Heart disease kills more people in the United States every single year, not just once when something weird may happen, like a pandemic, which kills a lot of people, unfortunately. But heart disease every single year, year after year, is the #1 killer in the United States. So we're reaching out to as many people as we can to help change lives, and make a difference. So with that being said, we know 2020 and 2021 were tough years. It wasn't what anybody wanted. It wasn't, something that we were looking out for. It wasn't ideal, but it is what it is. So what do we do now? How do we move going forward? Well, it can't be with fear. It can't be with doubt, and it definitely can't be in quarantine. This is a quote I got from Brene Brown, she's a PhD. She's psychology. She works with emotions. She works with shame a lot. People may know her name. I think she has the #1 watched TED Talk of all time. She did a TED Talk on shame. But this was her quote: "We are the most in-debt, obese, addicted, and medicated adult cohort in U.S. history." And I do tend to like to find things that aren't from other chiropractors. I don't want there to be a bias. Like, I don't want people telling me, "Oh, it's just a chiropractic bias. Chiropractors think this way. Chiropractors think that way," because it's not just chiropractors. In fact, when we talk about a natural lifestyle, I will tell you there are thousands of medical professionals, PhDs, doctors, nurses, all across the country that think the same way we do. You're just never going to hear them on Facebook. You're never going to see them on TV because they aren't following the model that everybody wants to spread, which is fear, doubt, and basically quarantine, but fear being the number one. But think about that right now. We are the most in-debt, obese, addicted, and medicated adults in human history, in U.S. history. There's something fundamentally wrong with that. The most in-debt, obese, addicted, and medicated adults in U.S. history. So you're not just one, you're usually 2, 3, or 4, all 4 of those. So you've got to do something different. We've got to make that change. So let's let the rest of 2021, 2022, and going forward be different. Because whether it's a virus, whether it's heart disease, you can do something about it. And we've just got to take those steps to make changes here. So we are talking about the cardiovascular system. We call this our cardio workshop, cardiovascular system. The heart is pretty freaking amazing. Some stats, if you weren't aware, your heart pumps about 2,000 gallons of blood every single day through your body. It's pumping 2,000 gallons of blood daily. It's about 115,000 beats per day. So your heart is beating 115,000 times. If that makes sense, it's doing it every single day, 24/7, day in and day out. We better darn well have a healthy heart. The function of it is obviously to move blood through the body, blood and oxygen. It's how you carry oxygen to your tissues. And it's also removing waste and toxins as those veins come back. So your body's got this constant system moving. If the heart doesn't stay healthy, think about any machine that's beating, that's pumping 2,000 gallons a day and 115,000 times per day. It's moving every single day without stop. Like, it doesn't get a rest. You don't turn it off at night. You don't have a chance to do maintenance on it. Like, think about how well oiled that machine would have to be and how well taken care of this machine would have to be. That is your heart. So how well are you taking care of it? Let's get into it. So you've probably heard it called the silent killer before. I get we were trying to everybody was trying to stay alive through a virus that your body basically fought off. Very scary. I know a lot of people did die, which isn't a fun thing. But again, heart disease was still there. It's still the number one killer. It's still killing more people than a pandemic. So while everybody was trying to survive this, we were doing things that are bad for the heart. Staying inside is bad for the heart. Not exercising is bad for your heart. Quarantining is bad for the heart. Being in a toxic environment is bad for the heart. Stress is bad for the heart. And most people, whether you're on a medication or not, aren't feeling your heart. You're not saying, oh, my heart hurts. Something else may be bothering you, or you may be dizzy or lightheaded. You may have other symptoms, but you're not correlated to, oh, I have a heart issue. And we call it the silent killer because either you just don't wake up the next day, or you have a heart attack out of nowhere, and people are always saying, man, how did that happen? They seem so healthy. Well, you may have felt good or not had symptoms, but definitely wasn't healthy. So we want to avoid this silent killer, start doing healthy stuff. The future is bright. Absolutely, it can be. If you notice at the end of that, there's a question mark, so it should really read, the future is bright. I hope it is. I hope it is for you. I hope it is for your family. But that question mark really does lie with you. It's a personal choice to do something about this. So today we're going to go over a lot of great information. We're going to start that process on what it means to heal the heart. But if you don't take action, if you don't take a step, even if it's a little step, then it's just information, and information doesn't change the world. There's a quote. I don't know who said it. Maybe it's not a quote, but I know I didn't say it. I've heard it. Choose your hard. So being obese is hard. Eating healthy is hard. Which hard do you want? Being in debt is hard. Being financially responsible is hard. Right? Which hard do you want? We have all these choices through our life. I was thinking maybe we could change our mindset to make it choose your easy. Right? It's easy to eat ice cream and sit on the couch and do nothing, but it's also easy to go out for a walk and buy healthier food at the grocery stores. So choose your easy. Hard or easy, whatever you want, you get to choose. But make the choice today. Let's get moving in the right direction. So this is chiropractic specifically, and the philosophy that I take care of my patients with, that I take care of my family with, the heart of what we believe. The body has its own intelligence, and I hope that makes sense to you. If that doesn't, Please, let's have that conversation here in the office. Let's talk about what innate intelligence is. Innate intelligence is literally, there's an intelligence that was put in your body that helps it work the way it's supposed to. Now, we have 33 principles in chiropractic. Principle 25 goes to the heart of this matter, the character of innate forces. The forces of innate intelligence never injure or destroy the structures in which they work. That means your body is not going to harm itself. Your body is not going to hurt yourself. Everything your body does, it's doing for the right reasons at the right time. That's a hard concept for people to grasp, because when things hurt, or they have heart disease, or they have blood pressure issues, maybe you got cancer, something bad happened, we're not thinking, oh, your body's doing the right thing for the right time. But there's no other, it literally can't happen any other way. You touch a hot stove, it hurts for a reason, so you pull your hand back. People that have symptoms, a runny nose, your body's getting the garbage out. A fever, your body heats up, not to hurt you, because maybe you don't feel well. It's not hurting you, it's protecting you. It's killing the viruses, it's killing the germs that are in your body, it's protecting your body. So your body is always going to work in its best interest. Cancers, you may have gotten cancer because your body was so toxic that it had to do something with those toxins that put them in your cells, and now you have this toxic environment here. Not something fun. I don't want that for people, but remember, your body can only work with what you give it. So give it healthy options, you're going to get healthy returns. But it will never, ever, it's a huge point here, your body will never injure itself. And I bring that up because think about the narrative that we're told. I mean, do we really believe that we are born with a ticking time bomb in ourselves? There's this thick, waxy substance building in your body. It's uncontrollable. You can't do anything about it. You have this pressure in your heart that just keeps going up. You can't do anything about it. Over time, it's just going to give out. The lining of your arteries are going to get thin and wear out. You basically have this ticking time bomb of a heart that just is going to give out one day, and there's nothing you can do. Your body's just getting worse and worse. Now, yes, we do all die. At some point, we'll go to meet our maker, but you can live an amazing, extraordinary life by taking care of yourself. This isn't just you're not just put on here to kind of walk around and then die one day. Like, take care of yourself and live the best life possible. So we do that through something called 5 essentials. That's what's listed over here. It's got to start with your brain and your spinal cord. Your heart doesn't work unless your brain and your spinal cord are working with the heart. Your lungs don't work. Your stomach doesn't work. Your eyes, your ears, you don't hear what I'm saying right now unless everything is connected. So we've got to make sure we have a healthy nervous system. Nutrition matters. What you eat matters. We're going to talk about nutrition and how it affects the heart. Mindset matters, right? If you have a negative mindset, if you've been told your heart's just going to break one day, don't worry, there's nothing you can do about it. Those are negative mindsets. We got to break free of those. Oxygen and exercise. Movement is life. This is how we stay healthy. This is how we pump oxygen into our bodies, right? This is how we keep the heart healthy. And then decreasing toxins is our 5th essential. We're going to hit a little bit of all those. Nutrition, exercise, chiropractic are the big ones we're going to talk about here over the next 2 sessions. So this is what we're looking at, identifying the causes of heart disease. So you understand basically what we're talking about is cholesterol, blood pressure, and atherosclerosis, or plaquing of the arteries. Those are the big 3 that are causing heart disease. How do you remove that interference? How are you going to move strategically to get a healthy body, and then balancing the nervous system? That's what runs the whole show. So I mentioned those already: heart disease, blood pressure, atherosclerosis, and cholesterol. So cholesterol is a big one. That's the one most people are afraid of. We've been told we have 2 types of cholesterol, HDL and LDL, which is absolutely true. But where the lines get blurred here is we're told HDL is good cholesterol and LDL is bad cholesterol. That's not true. It's fundamentally not true. The only cholesterol we have is necessary cholesterol. So please, that's a theme for today. Write that down, say it out loud. There's only necessary cholesterol. There's not bad cholesterol. There's not good cholesterol. It's only necessary cholesterol. If that's the only thing you get out today, that's a win. What that means is cholesterol is 100% necessary for life. If you do not have cholesterol, you die, like pretty much right away. Cholesterol is your body's way of of taking care of itself. Now, the reasons why they separated, HDL is kind of like a cleaner cholesterol. That's going to go through your arteries, clean the arteries, kind of remove any junk in there. LDL is considered bad because that's the one that does start to build up in your arteries, but it's only doing that because it has to. So this is huge. Your body is always going to take care of itself, right? It's never going to injure itself. So when you injure your arteries, cholesterol, LDL is like the Band-Aid that helps it heal. There's a great book, I put that in some of the notes later, by Ray Strand called Death by Prescription. He's a medical doctor, wrote a great book on this about prescriptions and how they may be killing us. But here's what he talks about is basically when they first identified cholesterol as a problem, they were doing autopsies on patients who died of heart disease. They would open them up and every time they would see, oh, there's cholesterol there. Oh, the heart disease, cholesterol. So they just said, every time we see cholesterol, this person died of heart disease, cholesterol must be the problem. Well, his analogy to that is saying, like, every time there's a fire, there's firemen. Oh, there's a fire, there's firemen. So firemen must be the cause of fires. That's essentially what we did in the medical community. We just put a blanket thing and said it must be cholesterol. It can't have any cholesterol. It's a bad thing. It's simply not true. And you can do the research. I've got a peer-reviewed study coming up here in just a second. Cholesterol is necessary. It's the internal Band-Aid for your body. If you don't have it, you would die. You have to heal those areas, and cholesterol is what does the healing. So a few of these stats here, that the real problem is when cholesterol gets oxidated. So you may have heard of antioxidants before. The reason antioxidants are so important in our body is because when you have the oxidation in your body, that is what causes major damage. So the more antioxidants you get into your diet, right? Nutrition, fruits and vegetables, antioxidants are going to negate those negative effects of the oxidation. So you've got to be having a healthy diet. More people have heart attacks with normal cholesterol than elevated cholesterol, and there's higher death rate with lower cholesterol than high. Those are facts. That's not like I'm making it up. Go look it up. More people have heart attacks with normal cholesterol, and more people die with low cholesterol than high cholesterol. And I give you a hint as to why, because of statin drugs. Most typically because of statin drugs. So you're on a medication that is lowering your cholesterol. Now, if your lifestyle doesn't change with that, and you continue to damage yourself, smoking, eating poorly, not exercising, just a bad lifestyle, you continue to damage your arteries, but you don't have the Band-Aid there to fix it anymore. You're not any healthier. You just don't have high cholesterol. Congratulations, you're still dying because your body isn't healthy. So this is the problem. When we just cover one thing up, then the body doesn't have a chance to heal. Right? It's got to all work together. So a few more things on cholesterol is 80% of cholesterol is made in the liver. It's absolutely necessary for life. It's a repair substance. It's actually put down because of inflammation. If we don't know about inflammation, it's the number one cause of all disease in humans right now. Pick the disease, inflammation is the issue. So cholesterol is basically being put down because you're damaging yourself and your body's using that internal Band-Aid. So there's no good cholesterol, there's no bad cholesterol, only necessary cholesterol. Please remember that. This is that study I was talking about. This is peer reviewed. This is out of PubMed. LDL does not cause cardiovascular disease. Review of the current literature. It's all this information is out there. Why aren't they being? Why isn't it being more widely distributed? There's a lot of thoughts on that. Just do your research. Make sure you know what you're talking about so you can take care of yourself. Okay. As a side note, I am not a medical doctor, nor do I want to be a medical doctor. I chose chiropractic because it's about health and keeping people healthy. I am not telling people to get off of medications or stop their medications. That is not the point of this. I am not allowed to do that, nor do I want to. I'm telling you to look at your health and make choices here, okay? Because we're going to talk about statin drugs here in just a second. If it's something you want to make those lifestyle changes, then you need to talk to a practitioner that can do that for you. Okay. Now I'll tell you this, they should be open-minded for you. If you tell somebody you want to get off their medication, and they just tell you no, go find somebody else who will help you with that. But you don't just stop doing these things. All right. You need to do it properly. But it's absolutely possible. You just got to find the right people to help you with that. So what this leads to, something actually in my research here, a new term that I didn't know before, called metabolic inflexibility. Basically, your body starts to lose the ability to adapt, loses the ability to adapt to the environment. Arteries can't move like they're supposed to. They can't pump and flex like they're supposed to. This all becomes our poor habits. One of the most frustrating things for heart disease has to be that it's mostly preventable. I mean, 85–90% of heart disease is completely preventable through diet, exercise, nutrition, adjustments, just making changes. I mean, people have heard the acronym SAD. They've labeled the standard American diet as a SAD diet. This is what we're sticking to. I mean, be willing to make that change. So metabolic disease is a big term. Metabolism, you guys have heard all of this, all has to do with how your body adapts. If you lose metabolic inflexibility, your body is not able to adapt to the environment anymore. So when you are eating poorly, it's not able to process and get you the best results. So do the right things to stay healthy for sure. You probably know what I'm saying with statin drugs here already. If you're on them, if you need them, if a family member feels like they need them, listen, you guys have to make those decisions. But the facts are there that more people die with low cholesterol, more people have heart attacks with low cholesterol because they're on the drugs, and the medications aren't correcting the problem. They're just covering it up. Some things to know about statins, those side effects. So memory loss has been a known side effect of statin drugs. So things like Alzheimer's may be related to statin drugs. Erectile dysfunction has been linked to statin drugs. Nausea, diarrhea, vomiting have been linked to statin drugs. Increased blood pressure has been linked to cholesterol-lowering medication. So anytime you take a chemical, first of all, if you're taking a chemical, it better darn well do something. Otherwise, why the heck are you taking it? So if you're taking a drug to lower the cholesterol, it better darn well do that. But then what are the side effects you're getting? Are you actually causing another problem? Just, you've got to look at all this stuff. Never just go in and do one thing and not do the research on it. So other things we can do besides medication, a lot of nutritional support here. So these are cholesterol supporting nutrients to help naturally either lower or healthier cholesterol. Plant sterols, basically the healthy parts of plants. It's hard to eat all the nutrition we need sometimes. So if you're not getting the dark green leafy vegetables or the vegetables you need, you can take things like plant sterols as a supplement. A supplement, be very clear, means you should be trying to get this in your diet, but sometimes it can be hard to do that. So we supplement. Curcumin, or the derivative of turmeric. If you've been in our office at all, you know that's something we recommend for almost everybody. I take what's called Curcumavale. It's from Designs for Health. I take that every day as just a support for anti-inflammatory. It's a natural anti-inflammatory support. I take it every day just to help my body. People that are in pain, I've taken to help them take it up to 2 to 3 times a day instead of things like Tylenols or ibuprofens. It's that powerful. Your red yeast rice is great for your arteries and flexibility in the arteries and helping with blood flow and circulation. CoQ10 is a powerful antioxidant, which also, by the way, is decreased by statin drugs. Statin drugs, one of the side effects is it decreases the amount of CoQ10 in the body. So you may need to supplement that or all 4 of these to help with natural heart health. It's out there. These things are out there. They're researched. Hopefully they're not secrets anymore. If you have questions on this, if we need to get into this more, come ask me in the office. We'll talk about it. Absolutely. Got a question. Should a person take all of those? You don't have to, but you absolutely can. Great question. So yeah, I was going to go through that here in a second because there's some bundles that Max Living's put together of supplements. You can absolutely take all of those. There's nothing wrong. And I will tell you, if you're on a medication, any medication, you may need to check if those supplements are going to react with medications, like things like blood thinners or something you do need to be careful with. But yes, you can absolutely take all 4 of those, 100%. I was just saying, so these are some bundles that Max Living has put together: cholesterol balance, high blood pressure, and blood vessel support. I'm going to talk more on Friday about nitric oxide. So I'll hit some more of these. There's the plant sterols. You see the red yeast rice with CoQ10 are in some of these different bundles here. Now, here's the thing. I don't actually carry these in my office. So I'm recommending you guys supplements that I don't have here because they're important, that you need them. So what you can do is you can still get these through Max Living. And the reason why I recommend Max Living, we basically have 2 to 3 companies that we use for our supplements, is because you need to get something that's high quality. If you don't get high quality, or if you don't know the quality, it can be doing more damage than good. For example, I love Costco. I wouldn't take a Costco supplement if you gave it to me for free. I wouldn't take a Walmart or a GNC supplement if you gave it to me or even paid me. I wouldn't take it because I don't know what the quality is. I don't know what it's going to be doing to my body or how it's going to be helping me. So with Max Living, like our last seminar we had, the guys who make these products were actually there. They were walking us through the formulas, how they got to those formulas, the ratios, what they do for you. So if you representatives from Max Living go to the warehouse where the supplements are made, they actually watch them put in the high quality supplements, how they put it together, making sure that we get the best quality possible. So that's why I recommend these. Now, like I said, if you want this, we don't have it in the office. It doesn't make sense for me to just kind of hold something on the shelf because it might go bad. Also, you can go to our website, mybarringtonchiropractor.com. That's the Degnan Family Chiropractic website. And then if you look at this top, I think right corner there, there's a button that says store. That will bring you to the Max Living store where they have hundreds of different supplements there. We carry a very small line here. I don't want to be basically a supplement store. I want to focus on patient care, but there are available to you these bundles for heart health. There's available tons of different supplements that you know is going to be pretty amazing quality. So you go to mybarringtonchiropractor.com, look for the store. If you're on your phone, you might have to search for it in like one of those bars, or if your screen's kind of small, you may have to search for it. But find the store section at our website, and then it'll take you to the Max Living site, and you can get pretty much anything you need there. Look for those bundles, put them together, get the best quality for you. All right. So we talked about cholesterol. Second part of this here then will be atherosclerosis. We're going to hit this, and then next time we'll go over high blood pressure because I know we're trying to keep on a time frame here. I promise you guys 40 minutes. I'm going to do my best. So atherosclerosis is basically the plaquing of the arteries where you get buildup. Cholesterol is obviously the big one. We just talked about why that happens, though, because you're injuring the artery. You're actually causing damage there. It's an inflammatory response. What you're going to see is when that inflammation builds up, you're going to get fatty streaks in the arteries. It's actually the way it's trying to protect itself. So that's going to cause some flow issues. You're also going to have issues with diet. That's a big one. People talk about oil. I know that's one of the big, big misconceptions about what kind of oil you should be eating. This is a quote I heard from a doctor in Indianapolis. I can't remember his name, but he said, fry oil, fry health. If you're looking for something to write down or a takeaway here, fry oil, fry health. Anytime you heat up oil, you're changing it from a healthy oil to not as healthy oil. And basically any oil besides coconut oil and avocado oil, if you heat any of the other ones up, it's almost immediately going to an unhealthy oil. So fry oil, fry health. If you're like, if you have heart issues, you need to make a change right away, stop cooking oil. That's one of the things you can do immediately. It's like people are trying to lose weight. They can stop drinking soda right away. Trying to make a change here, stop cooking oil. Immediately you'll see a healthy change in your arteries. When that oil gets heated up, it's basically going to start sticking to your arteries no matter what. And those coconut oil and avocado oil, some of the ones that say have a higher heat point, if they smoke, if any oil smokes, gone. You got to throw it away, start over. Right? It's too important to say, oh, I'll do it anyways. If it smokes, throw it away. You've changed the nature of the oil, made it unhealthy. What can you do instead? Well, before oil was around, we used water. People cooked with water. So it may not be as simple. Again, choose your heart. Is heart disease hard or is cooking with water hard? Choose your heart. But yeah, that's the option, is kind of cooking with water instead of oil. Anytime you heat it up, you're going to denature it. You're going to change the structure. Healthy fats are definitely a key here, though, which are healthy oils. Coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, uncooked, of course. Olive oil you don't want to cook. You want to use that for flavorings and seasonings, but those are healthy fats. Eat those as much as possible. You'll notice, I think years ago, there was this thing about coconut oil being unhealthy. That's been proven is false. It was a campaign put together by the corn industry to drive people toward vegetable oils and corn oils and soy oils, and away from the coconut oils. I mean, if you look at any civilization on the planet that coconut is their main nutrition, they're some of the healthiest people on the planet. You have to look before they were Americanized, because some of these populations have been Americanized and their diets have changed. But yeah, health in coconut oil, one of the best things you can do. I mentioned corn and soy. These things are so processed and they're so cheap. It's just not a healthy oil. So you're going to want to avoid those at all costs. Canola oil is another one, avoiding canola oil. If you didn't know, canola is an acronym. It doesn't actually, there is no canola plant. It's Canadian, I think, Canadian oil low acid is what it stands for. Canadian oil low acid. It actually comes from what's called a rapeseed, RAPE seed, which is inedible to humans. But what they do is they take it and they chemically process it, which makes it something that we can't eat. So it's this chemically processed toxic food to us that's been changed and altered, and now they're saying you can eat canola oil. So avoid canola oil, avoid vegetable oil, stick with your avocados, stick with your coconut, stick with your olive oil, and then nuts, seeds, any of that is great healthy fats, which is going to support heart health instead of reducing it when you're denaturing your fats and they're sticking to your arteries. Okay, there's just two more slides I have here for today. It was kind of an introduction. We hit the first two. We hit cholesterol. We hit atherosclerosis. Talked about some supplementation you can do. On Friday, we're going to get more into the blood pressure part of it, some more nutrition. We're going to talk about exercises. But this is something I introduced last week. We have this thing called an LRQ. This was just introduced by Max Living. We're bringing it into our office. Lifestyle Risk Questionnaire. This is an assessment you can take. It takes less than 10 minutes. It's about 40 or so questions. It depends on how long you want to think about it, but you can take this right now. What it's going to do is populate those 5 essentials, basically. It's these questions based off of how are you doing with your 5 essentials? How is your nutrition? How is your exercise? How is your spine health? How is your mental health? How is your toxicity levels? Maybe you need to increase your D3. Maybe you need to increase some exercise here. Maybe you need to increase time in the sun. Maybe you need to, whatever it is, it'll help identify those areas of weakness for you. So if you see this website right here, this eval.maxliving.com/s/DFSLRQ, that is the one that it's linked directly to my office. So you'll take that assessment. It'll send you the results. It'll send me the results. And then we can sit down and we can go over what the best plan is for you moving forward. If this is something you'd like to do, you can either copy that website right there and put it in your browser. You can ask us. We'll text it to you. We'll email it to you. You can take it right on your phone. It's a really great tool to help you understand where you are in your health journey. And it's going to give you some immediate action steps that we can sit down with you and get you some really great changes going forward. So that's the LRQ assessment. I'm really excited about this. We're going to start working into a lot of our patients' re-exams and getting all of our patients taking this. If you'd like to get a jump on that, take it now. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Sitting down with me to talk about it, it doesn't cost anything. I just want to make sure our patients are getting the best care possible. So I'm really excited about that. Let me get that fry health off. And then last part, if you haven't had your spine or nervous system evaluated, you've got to start there. Please let us help you with that. Family and friends days, coupons, whatever we need to get somebody in the office. If you live in a different state, if you need help finding somebody, let me know. I will find you a chiropractor. We'll get you help. Take that LRQ assessment. These are 2 things you can do right away. Get your spine checked, take the LRQ. I put some books down here, which I think are some amazing resources, because this is everything we're talking about is factual, it's up to date, it's current research. Regenerate just came out in March of 2020 by Sayer G, probably the top natural minded healthcare person in the country right now. greenmedinfo.com is his website, greenmedinfo.com. But he just wrote this book called Regenerate that we're reading, talking all about how the body's ability to regenerate. Amazing. Paleocardiologist, you've heard me talk about this one before, Dr. Jack Wolfson. It was a board certified premier cardiologist out of Arizona. Basically, they tried to throw him out of the medicine because he was getting people healthy through sending them to chiropractors, through changing their nutrition, and they were getting all these changes, but he wasn't putting them on drugs. And that was a problem for the hospital he worked at. So he started his own. He wrote a book called Paleocardiologist. The Statin Disaster by Dr. David Brownstein, again, medical doctor, talking about how statins are a problem. Death by Prescription, I talked about that earlier, Dr. Ray Strand. These are all resources for you. Greenmedinfo.com is that website I was talking about. And Kiss the Ground is a great documentary just kind of on the nutrients in our food and how they're getting coming from the ground. So some great action steps for you, some great resources. I hope today was a great start for you. We identified those causes. We talked about cholesterol. We talked about atherosclerosis. We're going to get into blood pressure. Friday, we're going to talk about removing the interferences, moving strategically, balancing the nervous system, more action steps. All right, guys. I hope it was a great start. Have a great Wednesday. God bless. And I will talk to you soon.